Love Lifestyle is a non-profit organization.
It was started in the year 2012 to help Liberian recover from the years of civil war.
We wanted to do something to invest in the next generation of leaders, kids in Liberia.
We love the people of Liberia.
Our aim is to provide shelter,
education,
Let's build them a school.
healthcare,
Let's put in a clinic.
To empower them, to employ them,
spiritual fulfillment,
Let's put a church, spirituality in the heart of that place.
and to train them so they can have a better life.
and bring hope to the people of Liberia.
Liberia is one of the poorest countries in the world. Maybe we're not always that way.
Liberia is recovering from civil war. It needs a tremendous amount of infrastructure.
The Civil War devastated the country.
the young kids are coming up. No, they don't have anything. Okay, they have a future, but they don't know how they're going to get there.
And then the Ebola outbreak of 2014 came along and rendered the Liberian government and the Liberian people just poverty-stricken. So there's a lot of need there, a lot of opportunity there.
If you look at our situation in Liberia, in terms of education, in terms of health, those things are very much lacking. If any at all, is in short supply.
We have an orphan situation that is an emergency need right now. And so basically said, we have a lot to do there. Let's do something about that.
My whole life, I have been either living in Liberia or trying to help the people of Liberia because of the devastation of the war.
Well, I was born in Liberia. I went to school in Liberia, and I began preaching and doing youth work before I came to the States in 1998.
My history with Liberia began in October 1994 when I got a phone call from a man in Providence, Rhode Island, who wanted to come to church with us.
The United States had just granted them refugee status. They were in the middle of civil war.
We eventually started a church, a Liberian congregation in Providence.
We did not come to Rhode Island, obviously, to have, you would expect to come to New England to have a relationship with people from Africa, but it's worked out that way, and God had great plans for that. And so it was just natural to continue to advance that.
You know, because I want to see our people in Liberia have the resources, have the opportunity that we have in the United States.
We originally had the idea of supporting an orphanage that was already in existence. We did that for a few years, and we thought, we could do better. So we decided to purchase some land and build our own campus just outside of Monrovia.
I just started dreaming, what would it look like? What could it look like? What could we do?
And we're going to help the people, to empower the people of Liberia.
We will provide education, we provide good health and support for those who need it.
We envision a full campus. We will have a high school, we will have a trade school, we will build an orphanage and a clinic and a guest house on our land.
And I think if we have the school completed, we'll have employment for people, children going to school, and other activities.
We have so much to offer in Liberia because I think the need is there for us to do that.
Our property's on a gorgeous set of 10 acres.
It's ideally located. It is away from the capital city.
Pretty much jungle land, but we've cleared enough now to start our building.
We're building a 20,000 square foot school building that will teach kids K through 6.
We have offices, you have the classrooms, you have places for the teachers to be.
It has an auditorium, it'll seat over 400 people. It'll be very large, it'll be a significant contribution to our fellowship in Liberia.
The auditorium, which of course is the school's auditorium, that will be for the church, so the church will also meet there.
Before we are able to build our clinic, it will also serve as a clinic for the local community.
It has so many potential uses because of its size and because of its location, because we're really not that far from Monrovia.
First you have to go through the foundation, and which is hard work because you have to dig it. We have no machine to do that.
Unfortunately, because of its location, we cannot use advanced types of machinery like a cement truck here. We don't have that access to that.
And so you have to have men come, lay the blocks, pour the concrete to make the concrete slab, which you call the floor, and then you begin to do the wall elevation.
It's a see the foundation laid, see the walls going up. It's very exciting. This is happening. We're taking ground. We're moving it forward. We were able to start a church there through the help of a great evangelist we found, a man named James Sager.
It's easy to establish a church in Liberia because the people are very eager to learn about the good news.
We just pulled into the village one day and gathered a crowd very easily. We had a preacher there, preached the word to probably 70 or 80 people that we had gathered. I think 6 or 7 of them were baptized that day. That was the beginning of our church. We had our first church meeting on that very next Sunday, and we had an attendance of 104. So, I mean, that's fantastic.
James Sager is the minister right now for our new congregation, Lighthouse Village Church of Christ.
He had a stellar reputation because he worked with many different churches, just volunteering on the side, leading people to faith, studying here and there. William Horace ran into him through a contact and followed up on that. So I had the opportunity to interview James.
Bruce and Ron were highly impressed.
He's a real good man, and we're very glad that God led him to us.
We have a committed man right here. May, by God's strength and Jesus' blood, may we form a great partnership.
Anything we're trying to do in Liberia, we try to pass through him now because he is our eyes on the ground in Liberia.
We told him that he would be our point man in Liberia because we're not there. And so we have our scholarship fund, and we have some students already that apply, and I think the selection has been made. So he will have to go to those various schools, like the University of Liberia, MVTC, to make sure that we have a channel through which, we can send the funding for their tuition and all of that.
Well, the cost of education in Liberia now is not high at all. I mean, comparing to the education in Liberia to the United States, forget.
They are charging $4 per semester hour at the University of Liberia, which seems unbelievable, like to us, but that's what they charge. Also, we will be sending some students to the trade school, Monrovia Vocational Trade School. They have offerings in many different trades, but $165 for an 18-month program. So with those kind of prices, we can afford to send quite a few students through school.
We're looking for kids who want to stay in Liberia, who want to be leaders that change the country.
We had a lot of students. We finally had to stop taking applications for the program because we just had too many. We couldn't take any more. But hopefully in the future, all the students who want to go will be able to send.
Where $400 can send someone to college for 4 years, you're going to have plenty of bang for your buck, and you're going to develop relationships with people potentially over your lifetime.
We have an advisory panel who are not able to be board members, but also have a love for Liberia and for what we are doing there.
Tonight we are here to celebrate Love Lights the Way, and we are here to celebrate our AP members. Because without the AP members, we won't be where we are today. There are people who just with goodwill to help Love Lights the Way.
They advise us on some of the things that we intend doing or we are doing.
Gives you a place to contribute your gifts and puts you among a special group of people that really want to see the work there advance.
We are open. Our books are open. Anybody can view and see what we're doing because we really, really want to help.
We treasure input, suggestions, involvement from all of our advisory panel members.
People need to know that their gift makes a difference, and it's going to make a difference for eternity. Because the things we're doing there, I think, are eternal difference things.
For a long time, I wanted to find out how I can help my people, not only just through the gospel, but also meeting their educational needs, their material needs, and whatever needs they have.
We get a chance to not just do some things for the refugees here, but to go back to their homeland where they're from, to do something that's really going to help the country to bounce back from all the terrible things that they've been through.
The history of God's people in Scripture is they make sacrifices for people they don't even know and they'll never meet, just because they can and they can make a big difference. And so Love Lights the Way gives me that opportunity.
Love Lights the Way is just a prayer come true, Exactly what I had on mind is exactly what Love Lights the Way is doing. So I'm highly excited.
You minister to the whole person, an orphanage, a clinic, trade schools. You're going to be ministering to people for their whole lives.
It's love for the people, for the work of God that drives up to Liberia and to meet the needs of the people.
There is no better way to show the love of God than to help the least among us. not only bringing them to Christ, but also provide the basic needs.